How you doing, YouTube? Matt Massive Beer Reviews, back with a little bit of modern times up in this piece in the form of their Thundera. Yeah, this be a 6.7% Hazie India Pale Ale, and we're going to drink it. Yeah, I stopped by a bottle and can shop on the way home from work, the Pennsylvania side, right on the other side of the Delaware water gap here. And I was just looking through. There's not a ton of fresh stuff there, but I was looking through. And this can caught my eye. I was like, yeah, okay. Little modem tones. Nothing wrong with that. Yeah. And I looked at the bottom. You know, and there's a lot of... let me put it down here. It'll probably focus better. There's a lot of groundswell around Black Lives Matter early on in the year, and it seems like it's waning. But thank you very much, Modern Times, for not forgetting. That shit still matters quite a bit now more than ever. It does have a little bit of time on it, so you're talking about November 24, so it's about a month and a half old, which isn't too bad, especially for modern times. Label-wise, geometric patterns. What do you want? I always like the cursive font they do too. Reminds me of baseball. So yeah, what do we have? A 6.7% hazy. Looks rich, looks orange, a little bit more darker orange than you'd want from a classic New England style 6.7% hazy. I'm cool with that. Maybe it's got a little West Coast vibe. Maybe a little bit of real maltiness going on as opposed to brewer sugar. We'll find out, or we won't. Just under a pinky finger, infinitely tight, compact head. Yeah. Skin nose. Juicy juice, bubblegummy, tropical fruit vibes with a dollop of citrus. That's where it comes off. I'm not really getting much as far as bittering. There's a nice sweetness to it, but the sweetness comes off like that kind of powdery bubblegumminess. So, you know, that little powder that coats pretty much all like stick bubblegum. And it has that kind of tropical fruit leaning, citrus leaning, kiwi leaning, like heavily tropical fruited, but there's a little bit of kind of grapefruit kind of pithiness or something on the other end of things. But that little bit of sweet powderiness kind of makes me think it's going to come off a little confectioning, which I'm kind of in the mood for right now. So let's just dive in, see what's what. Cheers. It's got a really nice mouthfeel on it. And there is bittering to it. It's actually pretty decently bittering, to be perfectly honest. It kind of like startled me with how bittering it is. It's not going to be confused with like a West Coast piney IPA. But your initial hit is that softness. Immediately kind of spruces up and get this little bit of pininess in it. You also get this little bit of kind of grapefruit citrus pithiness. There's this tropical fruit kind of wavering throughout. It doesn't get nearly as sweet as I thought it was going to be based off of that kind of bubblegum confectionery thing in the nose. Mouthfeel is absolutely fantastic. This is a chugger. This is like a beer I could throw down a couple cans and be like, wait, what happened? I just drank like 3 of these. That's the way this kind of comes off. I like it. It gives you enough bittering to kind of tantalize that kind of taste, and props up a little bit of dryness to where it makes you want to go back for more. There is that kind of tropical fruit, but not overly sweetened tropical fruit, so it kind of even makes you want to go back even more. It's not sweet on sweet on sweet, or even like just a slightly under attenuated beer. It feels like it's completely finished. Left enough, well, maybe not completely, but left enough sweetness behind, just enough to kind of bounce off some of that bitterness. It's really kind of a mix of very old school and very new school, which kind of makes sense. You know, it's what modern times. You know, they're on the West Coast. They're not. You know, it's not out of the realm of them to make kind of old school West Coasty beer, but you know, they're known for their new school East Coasty vibes. So it's kind of melding the best of both of those worlds together. I like it. I like it a lot. Put it that way. A little chunky. Not really. It's poured like a dummy. The can says Black Lives Matter. What more do you want? There you go. Tasty. Gets more tropical with each taste I take. The kind of bittering and that West Coast kind of slightly piney with that little grapefruit pithiness kind of slightly lessened, so it becomes a little bit more juicy with every sip. But that mouthfeel really kind of sticks there with that super creaminess, super fluffiness, super softness. I like it. Best of both worlds. Take your quintessential kind of non-overly aggressive West Coast IPA. Marry it with a tropical leaning soft East Coast kind of pale ale. That's what you got. So let's talk about it. Is it one of the better hazy IPAs that I've had as of late? Yes. Is it Mount Rushmore status? No. But it's fun nonetheless. Value and availability. I could pick it off a shelf for, I think it was $16.50. You know, it is what it is. I mean, it's kind of, beer coming from the West Coast from a brewery that's, modern times. Kind of makes sense. That price point doesn't piss me off. Even though I'd like to be cheaper and leave you with, if you like, what? Will you like this? If you like the West Coast vibes, those hazy vibes, you want to meet somewhere in the middle, and you think Black Lives Matter. And it's all boiled into one can of delicious, multi-dimensional, multi-coastal, multi-dimensional, where are we going here? Anyway, good stuff. So hopefully you guys enjoyed the review. Down there if you want to talk about it. Massive Beers. If you want to check me out doing the social media stuff, Beer Massif. If you want to check me out doing the whole podcasting thing, and hopefully you guys enjoyed the review. Hopefully you're enjoying a little modern times right now. Hopefully see you next time. Cheers.